Single dad found a lost wallet outside the mall on Black Friday. What he saw inside made him run back crying. The wind was cold and sharp that evening, but the shock burning in Ryan Miller's chest felt even colder. He stood frozen outside Westgate Mall, his hands shaking as he stared at the open wallet in his palms. Inside wasn't money. It wasn't credit cards. It wasn't even an ID. It was a small, folded note, written in a child's handwriting. And at the very top of that note were 5 words that hit Ryan so hard his vision blurred instantly. "If you find Daddy, please help him." His throat tightened. His knees went weak. And then without thinking, Ryan took off running back toward the mall, tears already filling his eyes. But the most shocking part was still to come. Because the wallet also held something else. Something that made him realize someone inside that mall might be in very, very big danger. And Ryan was already too late. Earlier that afternoon, Westgate Mall looked like a battle zone. Black Friday. Crowds yelling. People pushing. Doors barely staying on their hinges as security tried to control the chaos. Ryan, 34, wasn't there to shop. He wasn't there for deals, TVs, or discounts. He was there because he had just lost his job 2 weeks earlier, and he'd picked up a temporary shift delivering holiday flyers. It wasn't great money, but it kept him busy. It kept him from thinking too much. It kept him from remembering that he wouldn't be able to buy his niece anything for Christmas this year. He walked from store to store, slipping flyers into doors, just trying to finish before sunset. He told himself he didn't care about Christmas. Not this year. But something was already waiting for him. Something he didn't know yet. A twist that would change everything. End quote. Around 6 p.m., the sky turned dark. The crowd got louder, meaner, more impatient. 2 teens fought over a speaker box. A man yelled at a tired cashier. Someone knocked over an old woman's shopping bag and didn't even look back. Ryan sighed. People were different on Black Friday. As if kindness didn't fit inside the mall. He tucked his hands in his jacket and walked toward the parking lot. That's when he noticed it. A wallet. Lying right there on the asphalt, half covered by melting snow. No name. No phone number visible. Just a dark brown leather wallet with scratches and a broken zipper. He picked it up. It was oddly light. Too light. Ryan looked around. Hundreds of people walked past him without even glancing his way. He thought about ignoring it. He thought about tossing it into Lost and Found later, but something he couldn't explain why made him open it. And everything changed. End quote. The wallet snapped open. First thing he saw, a photo. A little girl, maybe 7 or 8, smiling with 2 missing teeth, wearing a purple winter hat. Her hand holding the hand of a man whose face was not shown in the picture. It was cut off. Weird. But then Ryan found something stranger. No money. No credit card slots. No receipts. Just the picture and the folded note stuffed behind it. His heart already squeezed a little. Kids never write notes for happy reasons. He unfolded it slowly. The handwriting was shaky. Like a child trying not to cry while writing. "If you find Daddy, please help him. He said he will be okay. But I'm scared. Please make sure he comes home." Ryan swallowed hard. What was happening? Where was this man? Why would a kid write something like this? He turned the wallet upside down to see if anything else was inside. That's when something else fell out. A small, wrinkled hospital bracelet. The name smudged. But the words emergency and do not ignore were still clear. Ryan felt a cold chill crawl down his spine. The father, the owner of this wallet, might be sick, or injured, or worse. And somewhere in the middle of this Black Friday madness, he might be alone. And the little girl who wrote that note, she might be waiting for him right now. End quote. Ryan looked around, searching desperately. He shouted, "Hey, did anyone drop a wallet?" People kept walking. Someone bumped his shoulder. Someone else told him to move. No one cared. No one even looked. But then, through the crowd, Ryan saw something strange. A man leaning against a pillar near the mall entrance, holding his stomach, breathing hard, head down. Something about him, his posture, his trembling hands, the way he kept checking his pockets. Ryan's heart started racing. That has to be him, he whispered to himself. Without thinking, he started walking toward the man, slow at first, then faster, and then he opened the wallet one more time and saw something he hadn't noticed before. A second page of the note, folded behind the first. He pulled it out, read it, and the moment he did, his breath caught, his chest tightened, his eyes filled on the spot. He didn't even feel the cold anymore. He just ran. He ran straight back toward the mall, straight toward the man leaning on the pillar, straight toward the moment that would change everything. Because the second page of that note, it didn't just explain the danger. It exposed a secret that made the blood drain from Ryan's face. A secret that could destroy someone's life, someone he was about to face. And then, the man suddenly collapsed. Right before Ryan reached him, Ryan dropped to his knees so fast that the people around him jumped back in shock. The man lay flat on the cold floor near the mall entrance, his face pale, his breaths sharp and shallow. His fingertips were shaking like he couldn't control them. "Sir! Sir, can you hear me?" Ryan shouted, tapping his shoulder. No response. More people turned to stare, but nobody stepped forward. Nobody helped. Ryan looked around desperately. "Someone call 911, he yelled. A teenager pulled out his phone and dialed. A woman gasped. Another man muttered, "Probably drunk," and walked away. But Ryan knew better. He looked at the hospital bracelet that had fallen from the wallet. The words were clearer under the mall lights. Severe hypoglycemia. Risk of collapse. His heart thudded. He knew what that meant. Low blood sugar. Dangerously low. The man needed help immediately. Ryan gently turned the man's face to the side so he could breathe better. "Sir, stay with me, please," he whispered. And then, Ryan remembered the second half of the note, the part that had made him run back crying. He pulled it out of his pocket and unfolded it again, his eyes blurring as he read it once more. Daddy said he didn't want to shop today. He said he didn't feel good, but he came anyway. Because it's the first Christmas without Mommy. Please help him come back home. I can't lose my daddy too. The writing ended with a small drawing. A little girl holding hands with her dad. And a big, empty circle where the mom should have been. Ryan covered his mouth. He felt his chest twist painfully. This wasn't just a missing wallet. This wasn't just a sick man. This was a father who had forced himself out on Black Friday, just to try to make Christmas feel normal again for his daughter. And now he was lying on the ground, barely breathing. "Hang on," Ryan whispered, wiping his eyes with his sleeve. "I'm not letting your little girl lose you." The teenager shouted, "They said the ambulance is close." People finally started backing away to give space. Ryan placed the wallet on the man's chest so the father would see it when he woke up. He squeezed the man's hand. "I found your daughter's note," he said softly. "She's waiting for you. You're not leaving her. Not tonight." Suddenly, the man's fingers twitched. His eyelids fluttered. Ryan leaned closer. "Sir? Can you hear me?" The man's lips moved weakly. "Wallet. My wallet," he whispered. Ryan grabbed it immediately and placed it into his palm. "It's right here. I brought it back. Your daughter. She's so worried about you." The man blinked slowly, like he understood. And then, the ambulance pulled up. 2 paramedics rushed over with equipment. "What happened?" one asked. "Hypoglycemia. Ryan said instantly, showing them the bracelet. I think he collapsed from it. They nodded. You probably saved his life, the paramedic said as he injected glucose. Ryan stepped back as they placed the man on the stretcher. The father was still weak, but conscious now, trying hard to speak. He pointed at Ryan with a trembling hand. The paramedic leaned down to listen. After a moment, he turned to Ryan. He wants you to call someone, he said. His daughter. Ryan's heart sank a little. Do you know her number? He whispered. The paramedic handed him the wallet. Check the photo compartment. Ryan opened it again and felt his breath catch when he found a tiny yellow sticky note behind the picture. A phone number with the name, Maddie Daughter. Ryan didn't waste a second. He dialed. The phone rang once, twice, 3 times. Then a tiny, shaky voice answered. H, hello? Ryan took a deep breath. Hi, sweetie. Is this Maddie? Yes, she whispered. Who are you? Did you find my daddy's wallet? I prayed someone would. Ryan closed his eyes. Yes, I found it. And listen, Maddie, your daddy is okay. The little girl gasped softly. Really? Yes, he fainted tonight, but the ambulance is taking care of him. He's awake now. He wanted me to call you. On the other side of the phone, Ryan heard a small cry, but not from sadness, from relief. Thank you, she whispered. You're an angel. I told Daddy not to go shopping. I told him I don't need presents. I just need him. Ryan's throat tightened again. You'll see him soon, he said softly. I promise. Can you stay with him until I get there? She asked. Ryan looked at the ambulance doors starting to close. He didn't even hesitate. Yes, I'll stay. I'm not going anywhere. And he meant it. The ambulance drove to the hospital, and Ryan followed behind in a security cart the mall officers provided. When they arrived, Ryan sat with the father whose name, he learned, was Daniel Parker, while the doctors stabilized him. 30 minutes later, a small girl with a purple winter hat rushed through the doors. Maddie! Daniel choked out, sitting up. Daddy. She ran into his arms, crying into his chest while he kissed her forehead again and again. Ryan stood back, watching quietly. Warm, emotional, grateful he found that wallet when he did. After a long hug, Daniel looked up at Ryan. You saved me, he whispered. You saved her from losing me. I don't have words. Ryan shook his head. I just did what anyone should have done. But Daniel grabbed his hand firmly. No, he said. These days, people walk past. People don't help. But you ran back crying for someone you didn't even know. Maddie stepped forward shyly and held Ryan's hand. Thank you for bringing my daddy home, she said softly. And Ryan felt something he hadn't felt in months. Hope, warmth, purpose. For the first time in a long time, Christmas felt real again. Sometimes, kindness doesn't need money, power, or fame. Just a heart that refuses to walk away. And sometimes, helping a stranger brings the miracle you didn't know your own heart needed.